Alexa, let's read.
Nice to see you again. I can't wait to read with you today. What book would you like to read?
Superman in Origin Story.
Crypto, The Origin of Superman's Dog, by Michael Dahl. Did I get that right?
No.
Did you pick Superman, An Origin Story, by Matthew K. Manning?
Yes.
Awesome. Now, please tell me, for this book, do you want to read a little, read a lot, or take turns reading?
Take turns.
Sure. Let's see what happens in this book. I can't wait to see how the story unfolds. We will take it one paragraph at a time. I'll read a paragraph, then you read a paragraph. Open the book and turn to the beginning, the page that starts with, "They say the." Go ahead and start reading.
They say the universe began with a big bang. The same can be said for the life of the boy who would become known as Superman.
In a distant part of the universe, the planet Krypton is destroyed. A lone rocket ship survives the explosion. On board this tiny spacecraft is a single passenger, a little baby named Kal-El. Kal-El holds tight to the blanket his mother gave him. He dreams of being held in her arms.
When the rocket ship stops moving, the baby wakes up. Cold air fills his lungs. He opens his eyes. Two friendly faces are looking back at him. "We're keeping him, Jonathan," says the woman. Kal-El likes her face. Her smile is warm. It is just like his mother's smile. "Oh, Martha," says the man next to her, "we don't know anything about this child. We can't just take him." Kal-El reaches out. He wraps his hand around the man's finger. Now Jonathan is smiling too. What do you think of the name? Now Jonathan is smiling too. "What do you think of the name Clark?" asks the woman. With his eyes open wide, Kal-El smiles at the woman. 16 years later, Kal-El is still smiling.
His friends call him Clark now. He leads a normal life in the town of Smallville, Kansas. Or at least he did until one fateful day.
Lana Lang tries to recite this week's poem from memory in front of the class. At the same time, Clark wonders what the school is serving for lunch. Suddenly he realizes that he's looking right through the wall into the cafeteria. "I think I lost my key," says Mrs. Owens.
"I think I lost my keys," says Mrs. Owens. Mrs. Lancaster sighs. "Again, Gladys?" She asks. "I'll help you look for them."
Clark is seeing into the cafeteria. He can hear the cook's conversation. It's like they are in the room with him. "Are you okay, Clark?" asks Mrs. Brown. Clark nods his head, but he knows that he is anything but okay. Later, the old barn door slowly creaks open. Jonathan
and Martha Kent glance at each other. Then they walk inside. Clark's parents seemed worried ever since Clark got home from school that day. He had told them what happened at school. He had lots of questions for them. Now, Clark would get some answers. Jonathan lifts up the dusty lid to a wooden box. Clark had never paid much attention to the box before today. Inside is a metal ship. It looks familiar to Clark, but he doesn't know why. "This is where we found you," says Jonathan. Clark doesn't know what to think.
Then his father hands Clark a small box. It was the only thing they had found inside the ship with Clark all those years ago. Jonathan and Martha never could get the box to work, but in Clark's hands the device lights up. Something that looks like an S fills the
Something that looks like an S fills the screen. Light from the object shines on Clark's forehead. The world falls away around Clark. He no longer sees Smallville. Instead, he sees the planet Krypton around him. Clark watches as a man named Jor-El hands a young infant to his wife, Lara. Lara is crying. She is hugging the child tightly. Beneath their feet, the ground begins to shake. They both know they must say goodbye to their son. If baby Kal-El is to survive, he must leave Krypton. Jor-El and Lara place him in a rocket ship. The ship takes off just as the world around it explodes.
Alexa, stop.
Bye for now. Come back anytime and say, Alexa, open Reading Sidekick.
Alexa, open Reading Sidekick.
Hi there. Welcome back to Reading Sidekick. Let's read and have some fun. What book will it be this time?
Superman in Origin Story.
Crypto, The Origin of Superman's Dog, by Michael Dahl. Did I get that right?
No.
Did you pick Superman, An Origin Story, by Matthew K. Manning?
Yes.
Same as before. Do you want to continue reading from where you left off?
Yes.
Do you want to read a little, read a lot, or take turns reading?
Take turns.
All right. You start first. Read the first paragraph, from where you'd like to pick up from last time.
Clark opens his eyes. Smallville is back. Jonathan and Martha Kent watch as Clark comes back into focus. Clark looks at them, then
A short while later, Clark returns to the family barn. Clark lands on the ground. For a long moment, he and his parents just stare at each other. Then Clark hugs them. Now he knows who he is. He knows where he came from. And he knows what he has to do on planet Earth.
Alexa, stop.
Bye. Thanks for reading with me.